Welcome back to Anarchy in the Ukulele with me, KD. I'm on holiday with this Keiki K2 ukulele. It's the Keiki K2. It's a ukulele pack, they call it. So it comes with a pack with loads of accessories and things like that. So Keiki is a brand name, but it's the brand name basically of Ortega. So Ortega, very well known for ukuleles. And this is a range that they've had out now a little while. I came across them at the Grand Northern Ukulele Festival. There was Ortega there exhibiting, and they had these on their stand, and they kind of caught my eye. And what I really liked about them is, we'll go through the specs in a minute. I mean, there's not many specs to go through because they don't give you a lot of information about these, but they're a plastic body ukulele with then a laminate wood top, but a wooden neck and headstock. And then the fingerboard is actually plastic, but with metal threads. So it's kind of, there's a lot of ukuleles that look like this about. Flight do one, and they look very, very similar. This and the Flight seem to be very, very similar build. However, when you pick this up, and everybody who I've kind of given this to since I bought it, has been really surprised by the feel of it when they pick them up. It feels very, very solid. It doesn't feel plasticky at all. The top is, I don't know how the top is joined, but the top joined to the plastic sort of sides and back. It has got sort of a proper inside, proper kerfling around there, wooden kerfling, to join it onto the top. So yeah, I don't know how it's joined, but it's very, very smooth. So it's a really nice join along the top. It's got this rough edge to it, which I actually really like because I find the shiny plastic ones look quite cheap. This is kind of a matte black, and it's almost got the look of, and you have to be a certain age to remember this, but amplifiers and things like that used to have this sort of, well, they still do sometimes, but this black painting on it that was kind of like a paint that had little bits in it, and it was really tough. It meant that, you know, you could throw these amplifiers around and rack cases and things like that around, and it would take quite a lot to damage them or scratch them up. And eventually they did, but it's a really tough coating, and that's what this feels like, that really kind of tough coating on there. So it feels solid. It doesn't feel like a plastic instrument, particularly because you've got the wooden neck and headstock, which is really nice. I don't know what wood it is because they don't actually say on their site what it is, but it's nice. It's nicely finished. It's smooth. It's kind of got a satin matte finish to it, which is nice. The fingerboard, which is plastic as well, ABS plastic, same as other things on this, you kind of wouldn't realise that was ABS plastic. I've got to say, I really do quite like the fingerboard. It's showing, you know, when plastic gets a bit white and you get kind of white marks on it, which I guess you could probably clean off with a bit of something. It's different to the Flight in that the threads on here are actually metal threads, whereas the Flight ukulele are plastic, so I like that as well. Open back tuners. So normal kind of tuning fare there. I've got to say, the tuners I actually really like, and I think they're some of the best tuners I've felt on what is essentially a beginner's instrument. Now, the elephant in the room is the design on this, and they come in lots of designs. I think they're a bit harder to get in the UK than they are perhaps to get in America, but I've seen sort of 3 or 4 different designs. This is the Piece 68 design, so kind of 60s themed, very Woodstock, the peace symbol on there, lots of flowers, rainbows. I bought this for my wife because she loves bright coloured things and rainbows. She's like a child. We have a collection of wooden rainbows in our house that you wouldn't believe. Anyway, a whole different story. And so I bought this for her because she's not really showing much of an interest in playing the ukulele, and I thought, do you know what? This might be the instrument that gets her interested. And when I showed it to her, she did really, really like it. And she is going to start trying to play. Now, I think that is what these instruments are all about. Now, I've watched a couple of reviews on these where they question the sound of them and to some extent the build of them and how they're put together and what they're made out of. To me, the whole point of these instruments is to entice new players to play the ukulele, particularly children. Particularly children. As much as you can argue that you don't like this design, kids love it, and they do. I've shown it to them; they love it. My little boy Jesse loves it. He wanted it for himself, and I think that's the big difference of this compared to a lot of sort of paint a ukulele bright green, really quite badly, fluorescent green almost, or a bright red or a purple, and children will love that because they're bright colours. They don't. There's not enough interest there for a child nowadays. The finishes of those are poor. The finish of this is, I think the finish of this is exceptionally good. There is no hint of sharp frets on this at all. Setup is good out the box. There's not a lot you can do to the setup. It's just a flat saddle there. It's a tie bridge, isn't necessarily ideal for a beginner's instrument. I think this is, if you're a ukulele player and you're already playing and then you're enticing someone to play so you can help them with the tie bridge and things like that, I think this is a great instrument. It's a little bit more pricey than the flights. They're currently retailing anywhere from around about £45, I've seen them, to around about £65, so you can get a bargain out there. This to me feels a little bit more like a proper instrument. Aquila strings on there. There's not a lot more to say about the spec other than lots of different designs, so have a look on the website, see all the different designs. Playability wise, it's not going to win any awards for its sound. Now, I kind of don't like saying that because, and I can see us getting criticised for this, or me getting criticised for this. I don't think the sound is the most important thing about this instrument. I would love it if it sounded slightly nicer. It's a strumming instrument. It's absolutely fine. It strums fine. In a group situation, lots of these, I actually think it would work quite nicely. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's very middle of the road. It's not got much sustain on it at all. It's loud, but it's not got much sustain on it. The notes, particularly on that first string, they seem to drop off almost immediately. The strum placing, let me think. I should say, for a placing, you get this box of stuff with it. So you get this little box of stuff where you get a strap in there, plain black strap. A bit weird because it's a strap that attaches in the sound hole rather than using the strap button that's on the ukulele. That's a bit weird. What else do you get? Let's have a look. So you get a strap, you get a tuner. It's a really nice tuner considering some of the ones that you get in these ukulele packs. You also get, you get some picks, some little picks in there, some Keiki picks. You get a gig bag, again, not of any use other than something to carry it around with. Fingers aren't very used to a soprano uke, if I'm honest, but hey, we'll keep it real. to me, what's important is we're on the dock here, by the way, so you can hear people walking by below us. There's restaurants all below as well. But I thought it's a nice night. I thought I'd have the door open, have a bit of a breeze in here. So we'll put up with that. Yeah, the point of this instrument is that it really, to me, it really is an instrument that attracts people to pick it up and give it a go when they're not ukulele players. There's just something about it. And then when you do pick it up, you don't get the feel of this being a cheap plastic instrument. The combination of wood and plastics on this is really nice because you've got the wood where it really matters the most. I can see what they're trying to do, and I like it compared to what I've seen other manufacturers do for this market. And that's something that I feel, yes, there's areas they could perhaps improve upon. What would they be? What would they be? Because there's nothing wrong with the fretboard. I guess for sound. It doesn't really resonate very much. I think that may be just to do with how it's all sandwiched, and the top's braced across there, and it's perhaps over braced a little bit. It is fairly dead sounding, and the plastic's fairly thick as well. I think that might be what's keeping it sound like that. However, playability, to me, tuning wise and keeping its tuning and action out of the box, this has come straight from the manufacturer. It's not been adjusted at all. Is really, really very good and better than any of the sub £50 ukuleles that I've tried. For playability and being able to literally take it out of the box and play it, I think it's really nice. I think if they get people into playing the ukulele, and I'm convinced that's what this is, it's a pack, you've got everything you need, strap, tuner, picks, don't necessarily need the picks, you've got good quality tuners that feel really smooth to use, really nice tuners to use. I can't stress enough about the tuners. You've got the wooden feel of the neck that's nice. It's a 34, 35 mil neck. It's a little bit round at the back, but I don't mind. I don't have any problem with that at all, and I think for beginners that's absolutely fine. I don't think there's a problem with that at all. It's solid. It's not going to break easily. You've got a strap button there, so if you do want to add a different kind of strap to it, you can. Yeah, I think it's a really good starter ukulele that hopefully people will see and want to pick up and play it. Certainly children, that's been my experience of it so far. They gravitate towards this one. This is the one that they want to pick up and play. And when they do pick it up, it doesn't feel like a toy, whereas some of the others feel like a toy. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I probably could have said 10 minutes ago, but yeah, that's what does it for me. It feels like a proper instrument. So yeah, the Keiki from Ortega K2. It's a ukulele pack. I'm a big fan. I'm now going to teach Tracy how to play her first set of full chords whilst we're on holiday, because hey, what else would I do on holiday other than play the ukulele? Please do like, subscribe and ring the bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.